Welcome back to another episode of Cheapskate Garage, where I cook with a vet, my father-in-law, Steve. That's a horrible intro. Well, you get the idea. My father-in-law is in town. We're going to cook some brisket. We're going to cook some other stuff. And here's how he does it. He's a veteran at it. He's a veteran of the armed forces, and he's a veteran of smoking on the grill. So let's get started.
Welcome to Cheapskate Garage.
Doing?
Pork ribs have a membrane, some people call silver skin, on the bone side of the rib rack, and you have to peel that off of there. Some butchers it's already done for you, so you have to check and make sure. But if it's not done, you have to get this membrane off it. Here, it's tough, and you can't eat it, so it's got to come off to have some. So you have to look at it, make sure. You have to just peel it back. It's like a skin, like a sheath skin. And you have to get that off of there. And this one, somebody's already done these. So in this case, we don't need to do that. So we're ahead of the game here. But when you buy your ribs, you make sure on the bone side that membrane is not there, because that's very tough. You cannot eat it. Now we're going to season our ribs. Start out with good kosher salt. You have to put a good layer of kosher salt on here, and we're going to let these sit in the refrigerator all night because the kosher salt is going to actually tenderize the meat. So I'm going to start with the kosher salt. Put a nice layer on it, just like that. Next in line, now we're going to use our seasonings. Black pepper, give it a good dose. Nice black pepper. Cover it down good. Pepper will make it a good mark for you eventually, after all this sets up. Okay, the pepper's on. Now we're going to put on some paprika.
How much paprika do you use?
We're just going to sprinkle it on. It's going to be kind of hard to do out of this bowl, but
You want a spoon?
Paprika, the more you put on there, it ain't going to hurt anything. It's just adding flavor, and it's going to make a nice mark. Paprika is very good with any kind of meat, pork especially. Put a nice little batch of paprika on there.
More spice. I want more flavor.
Now that's on. Now we're going to add some chili powder. Nice good sprinkling of chili powder. Give it a good dose. Now the old reliable onion powder. Very delicious on ribs, especially on ribs. A bunch of nice onion powder on there. More garlic powder. That's onion powder. Now we're going to add some garlic powder. Garlic makes everything better. Give it a nice dose. A nice coating there. Yeah. Something very good that a lot of people don't know about. Mushroom umami herb. Very good, very tasty. You got a good mushroom flavor here. That adds flavor. Give it a little nice coating of that. We're just adding flavor. We're building flavor profile here is what we're doing. Gonna make a nice flavor profile. That's about all of that. Now, we're going to add the important part. In this case, Montreal steak seasoning. More flavor. Sprinkle her down real good. And it's got spices in it. It's got a lot of pepper in it, black pepper. It's just going to add more flavor. We're piling on the flavor here is what we're doing.
So you're saying our mouth's gonna be on fire?
You gotta be careful, see what I'm saying? It's too much.
Oh, too much. Don't put too much on there.
And sugar. Lay it on good and thick, because when you put this in the refrigerator and let it rest overnight, that brown sugar is going to turn to liquid, and it's going to be a real nice sweet liquid, and it's going to add to the bark. Going to add a lot of flavor to these ribs. It's going to be nice and sweet and salty. And you can actually pat it in if you want. Kind of spread it around, make sure you get a good covering. Now, what you do is put them in the refrigerator overnight, and actually, you can stack one rib on top, rack of ribs on top of the other rack of ribs. Sit there and marinate together overnight.
Where?
Ooh, boy.
Like, see how thick that is? That's all gonna come off.
Yeah, and this does too, right?
Yeah, but don't try not to cut into the meat, but we need to get most of the fat off of there. Is she filming?
I don't know, probably.
Okay. The secret with the beef brisket now is we have to remove all this fat. This big, thick fat layer, because smoke will not penetrate fat. So we have to get the fat off so then we can add our seasoning and the smoke will penetrate. So that's what we're doing now, is trimming the fat off. You're not going to stop spilling it for now.
He's trying to use a steak knife over there. That's not working that good. He's trying to use a steak knife over there. That's not working that good.
Okay, what do you want to show me?
How this grain of this meat is curving around here. That's the grain. That's the way. You need to cut across that grain. So before we put any seasoning on it, we're going to make a mark. So when it's done, you know which direction to start slicing this meat. You're going to have to slice it against the grain.
Okay.
Now, first step.
A boatload of salt is in.
So we need to get rid of this fat. Cut it off. We need to get rid of that fat and put this in that pan.
Okay, what are we doing now, PaPa, Steve?
Wash it my hand.
All right, good idea. Gotta have some etiquette in this, you know? You can't just be touching raw beef and touching everything else, especially your wiener. Okay.
Okay, now we have beef stock, or you can use beef broth if it's what your favorite is. I always use beef stock because it's a little bit more flavor in it. So now we're going to inject this brisket. Put your needle in, give it a squirt. You're probably going to see it come out some places. That's no problem. Just want to get it, whoa.
All over you.
All over the floor, too.
For a dog to clean up, you know?
Yeah, that's okay.
Get as much beef stock inside this meat as you can. want to keep it moist while you're cooking it. And you're going to have some coming out between the grains of the meat, which is no big deal. You just want to get as much moisture in it as you can.
Well,
It had a blowout.
it's like Wyatt does.
Not quite the same. That's good.
What's next?
Now that we've injected it with the beef stock, we're going to add some olive oil on the outside just to make the bark and all the seasonings stick a little better. That's all we're doing. Just going to add a little bit of olive oil here.
Are you sure that's olive oil?
Yeah, get out of the way.
Come on, out.
Now we're going to cover it
He
down
just wants
real good with kosher salt. Cover real good and strong because that's going to tenderize this meat. And it's going to add a lot of flavor also. It's going to add some salt to it. Get as much coating as you can, cover it as best you can. Then we're going to sprinkle on some paprika. We're adding flavor. We gotta add flavor. It's also going to make a nice, pretty bark. Now, chili powder.
Adding more spice to it.
Give it a good dose of chili powder. Garlic powder. Always makes everything better.
Gonna make our breath smell like garlic.
You can use as much of these seasonings you want or as little as you want. That's all that matters, your taste buds. I like to add a lot of flavor, get a nice, thick, fancy taste and bark.
What's that?
That was onion powder.
It's gonna make us cry now.
No, it's just gonna ward off the vampires.
I mean, we might as well just add more garlic.
Now we're going to add some of this mushroom umami with herbs. Sprinkle it down with that real nice, adding more flavor. We're building up our flavor profile here.
How much flavor are we adding?
Now, Montreal steak seasoning.
Again. That garlic.
You get a little pepper in your nose?
Yeah, now we're going to turn him over.
And do the same thing.
Add a little more olive oil. Olive oil also adds moisture and some more flavor. Now, more kosher salt.
And then pass them the kosher salt, so.
Or not. We gotta make it salty.
Never know what's cooking out, but it makes the meat good. Oh, kosher salt's on. Now we're going to add some more chili powder.
Heck, I might as well just grab the hot sauce out of the fridge. Add on it. Let's see what type of hot sauce we have here. Which hot sauce would be the best?
None. We ain't eating Mexican food. We eating American food.
Same thing. Tomato, potato,
Macho, not yours.
What we got there? Chili powder?
Chili powder. More chili
Oh, I
powder.
thought it was paprika. Whatever it's called.
Chili powder.
Paprika.
Same thing.
Paprika.
Same thing.
Some more paprika.
That's paprika. It's lighter in color.
Same thing.
Onion powder.
Make our breath smell like onions.
Garlic powder. This is my show, not yours. This is Steve's barbecue show.
Steve's barbecue. PaPa
Yes, sir.
Steve's barbecue.
Now we're gonna throw a little more Montreal steak seasoning on, so we get that nice pepper flavor. And with the other seasonings also. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. And a little bit more of the mushroom umami, herb spice. Then we're going to add more black pepper. Make sure we get a nice coating of pepper on here.
Is
Oh,
it gonna
yeah.
make you sneeze again?
Just might. Yep.
Now, that's all you need to do to get your beef brisket ready to go. Now we put it in the refrigerator, cover it with a piece of foil, and let it sit overnight.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's the next morning. We're getting our firebox lit. It's about 8:15 in the morning. He says it's going to take about 6.5 hours to cook the brisket. So we're going to get the fire rolling for about 15 minutes. Here's what we got going on. Just lit the charcoal. It's on the chimney right now. We're going to get that so it's kind of glowing white and then throw it down in there. Now he went out and he picked up these hickory barbecue cooking chunks. That's what we're going to be smoking with today. I had another box. I don't know where it went. I think it might be in the house somewhere, but that was apple wood. We're gonna save that for another day. The charcoal that we're using is Royal Oak lump wood, hardwood lump. Now for me, I found this Royal Oak kind of lights a little bit better than what the Cowboy lump charcoal does. I used to use that religiously, but I've been using this Royal Oak now, kind of liking it.